Hi guys, how are you? Crafty Chef Diamond here. I hope everybody's doing well. I am a little behind on my little whip and chatty. I guess I was procrastinating. Not only that, I was tired this week, you guys. Okay, so the last time that I had a nice little visit with you guys was last Wednesday, and I was getting ready to go hike it out in the rain. Well, it had rained that morning. Ooh, hello, light. It rained that morning, and I thought it was going to rain again. Anyways, I went 4 miles down the road. I was going to do 8 miles because I told you guys I don't like to do my challenges on half miles. So if I had to say, okay, I got to trek down Route 1 at 3.5 miles, then I got to turn around, and then so it'll equal 7 miles, right? And go 3.5 miles back up. So I thought, all right, just gradually add more mileage to it, Laura, so then you can just do a good turnaround and then come back home. And so I went down 4 miles. I'm like, okay, that's not bad, but I don't feel like going back up Route 1. I'm close to the school that I used to work at. So let me go down. It's called Todd Jeff Parkway. Now, if I went the other way, it's going to be Mount Vernon Parkway, which will take me to George Washington, Mount Vernon. So I thought, all right, calculate in your head, Laura. Okay, you have 4 miles to get back home. So if you take Todd Jeff Parkway, I walked with that with Cheryl last year. Okay, so I think that's like 1.5 miles. Then from there, from Wegmans, is 3 miles. So Todd Jeff Parkway, Wegmans. Oh, I think you're okay. I think you're okay. So, so at mile 4, I drank half of my protein shake. It was a new protein shake, and you want to try these things before your big run. So you want to find out if this is going to work for you. So I do Todd Jeff Parkway. I can never get that Parkway. I don't know why they made it like this long when it could have just been Todd Parkway. Okay. So I didn't calculate right, you guys. I drank half my protein shake. Then at mile 6, I drank the other half of my protein shake. And then I'm like, oh, no. The mileage, then I was getting close to 7 miles. I'm like, oh, I should be almost home. I wasn't even near Wegmans, and I didn't calculate right because if I get to Wegmans, which is kind of like your Publix, it's a high-end food store. That means I still have 3 more miles to get home. So I get off the Todd Jeff Parkway, get onto Telegraph Road, and from Telegraph Road, I have this huge hill to go up. I'm like, oh, Laura, what did you do? What did you do? I get all the way up to the fire station, and from the fire station, I take a rest. And I'm like, I'm miserable. I'm dizzy. I'm just miserable. And I sat underneath the tree, and the wind would blow ever so often, and the rain that was left in the tree would come down and trickle on top of my head. I'm just like, oh, I'm in heaven. So I get back up, and I make it to Wegmans, and I go inside of Wegmans, and then I wash up, I fill up my water bottles, and I clean myself up, and I'm like, all right, Laura, you have 3 more miles to go to get home. And I'm miserable. I'm so miserable. I must have hit the wall 50,000 different times. I finally get home, and then I get a text from my friend. Hey, I think I saw you on Telegraph Road. Were you the girl walking in black with the headphones on? I said, oh my gosh, the next time you see me, check in with me. Please stop. Check in with me and see if I'm okay, because I would have picked up a ride immediately. So I only wanted to do 8 miles. I ended up doing 10.88. You might as well say I did 11 miles. So I don't know, guys. It just did me in. It totally, my body wasn't ready for it because I'm used to running. I am power walking. So I'm trying to get back into getting my body prepared for this big 26 for 26 challenge. And I knew my body wasn't ready. So I was miserable. So, now this week, I'm backing it back down, and I think it's 7 miles. Yeah, we're into, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, so I need to do 7 miles this week on Wednesday, and that's what we're going to do. So if I have to do 3.5 miles down and 3.5 miles back, I will keep watching when I get to mile 3, and I'll keep watching my armband for that half mile, and then I will turn it around. So, whoo, that was a good one. That smoked me. I was total smoked. I have a lot of things to celebrate before we get into our little whip and chat. I just like to always go over Diamond Paint with Friends. This month is landscapes, and I'm hosting landscapes, and we're going to do a brief little talk about Bob Ross. I love Bob Ross. I love his artwork. He does oil paintings, but he used to be on TV, and he would calm you down, and my mother used to watch it all the time, and my mother used to do oil painting in her younger days, and I don't know, he would do it in 30 minutes, and it was just amazing. You're like, how does he do that so fast? How does this man do this? So yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Even though I was supposed to do my whip and chat before Saturday, we're still I just posted week 1 to share your progress in the Diamond Paint with Friends Facebook group. So you'll get another week 2 is not until next Saturday, this coming Saturday. So I have plenty of time. Yeah, and I have some exciting news. Before I actually share my canvas with you, I have somebody that wants to donate a grand prize. She wants to donate a Chuck Penson Inspirations. Oh goodness, what is the name of it's Inspirations Spring Meadow. Okay. I want to make sure I get everything clarified with her first before I share the canvas, before I share her name. But right now, we do have a grand prize for landscapes, and this is the one that I shared with everybody. You get 5 little mini diamond paintings. These are the mini diamond paintings that are in the kit. Plus, we have somebody else that wants to help us out with a Chuck Penson landscape donation, and I'm so thrilled. Okay, so let me start off. So this month is landscapes. I am hosting landscapes. Welcome everybody. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for being with me. You're going to notice that I'm always a little behind on answering my comments, just because I don't know, I'm just behind. I'm always behind on everything. I'm behind on seeing other videos, and I'm always behind, but I eventually get there. So this month, and then we have the MYKATHON. If you have any questions about the MYKATHON is supposed to be mirrored with the Diamond Paint with Friends, but it's over there. Go visit the MYKATHON event by Jennifer Heims, and you will see everybody's beautiful artwork over there. Over in the Diamond Paint with Friends Facebook group, you will see some great postings of landscapes. I did a short little interview through Happy. It's a read along interview with Chuck Penson with Happy Colors, and I thank Happy Colors for allowing me to do that. It's hard for me to pick items for landscapes. I've been searching the web. I have a couple of ideas up my sleeve, but yeah. I was researching yesterday, and just bear with me. I'm finding it very difficult for some reason. All right. So for September, let's get ready for Bookworms. That's going to be hosted by the Crafty Witch UK, Arietta. And then we have Garden Critters, which is going to be hosted by Lois, and her diamond painting channel is Diamonds and Things. And then October is Pumpkins in the Fall, and that'll be hosted by Nancy Pampered with Diamonds, and her sister her channel is Love My Family, and her name is Patricia. Everybody's going to be listed in the show notes down below. So these are all going to be live links. So when you look in my description box, as I would call it, show notes, you would go into the description box. If you see a pink, not pink, I got pink on my brain. If you see a blue listing under their names for what they're hosting, that's called a live link. That means it'll take you straight to their channel, and then you can subscribe, watch a couple of their shows on their YouTube channel, and then you can backspace yourself out and come right back in. I totally forgot to mention, okay, I'm just going to keep moving forward. I forgot to do something. I was going to do my shout outs, but it's going to have to be the next video because I don't have anything up here with me. My apologies. I will promise next video. Just Bitchin' Witches. I will be hosting that. I'm trying to get all of my material ready for that, so it'll be a fun, exciting month. So go out there and find your friendly, witchy, bitchy canvases now. And I am going to, they can be scary witches, they can be happy witches, they can be pumpkin witches, it can be any type of fall type of bitchy witches that you want it to be. Be creative. I'm not funky crazy about what you decide, as long as you're happy and you're having a good time. Then for November is Reach for the Sky, and that's going to be hosted by Jeannie M. Bushnell. She does have a channel. Please go visit Jeannie. And then we have our last one for the year, and that's Fall and Thanksgiving, and that's going to be ran through the creator's name is Amy. She does have a Facebook group, and she does have a company, and I don't know if she's going to be putting out special diamond art for her fall and Thanksgiving event, but that gives you time right now to go to her Facebook group and go check her out. It's called the Diamond Design Company, and the creator's name is Amy. I have been perusing her site. Yes, I'm going to support her small shop. I think she's through Etsy. But yeah. And then we are done for the year. December, we don't have a paint along, but I call it a wild month. You can put whatever you want in the group and just share it for the month of December. And I will be doing some Christmas trivia, Christmas facts, kind of like I'm trying to scrape up landscaping facts, and I'm just having a difficult time. I have all my little friends here with me today. So I have Hammy here. He's getting ready for Bitchin' Witches. I have Biscuit is with me. Comet. Bacon. And then my croissant and my coffee. Yesterday, I had my anniversary call for being on YouTube, having my YouTube channel for 4 years. So I thought it was kind of neat. I did make a community post. I'm not big on doing community posts. I'm new at making community posts. So a lot of times if I do make a post, it's for, I think when my mother passed away, and then a lot of it was Diamond Paint with Friends. So I'm kind of weak at that, and I need to work on that. So let's get started, you guys. So yeah, in the show notes, everybody's going to be listed pretty much, for the rest of the year. Go visit the Facebook group. It's Diamond Painting with Friends 2.0. If you go to the very top, we always have a cover page, and the cover page is when you go into the Facebook group, it is showing you what landscapes and the MYKATHON that are being hosted for that particular month. And then right underneath that, you'll see a couple of tabs, and it says events, features, photos, that kind of thing. The only tab that's really active right now is the feature tab. So if you go in the feature tab, you're going to find this schedule under there, but the most recent schedule you're going to find would be the 2027 Diamond Paint with Friends beautiful, beautiful menu that Diamond Art Joy made for our group. And then you will find this schedule, the remaining Diamond Paint with Friends schedule for the year, and you will see the creators right next to the theme. And then over here would be their hashtags that will be for that particular event. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, and if you are a creator and you have a YouTube channel, or you have an active, fun Facebook group that you want people to go to, I'm mainly looking for YouTube creators, because that's how Diamond Paint with Friends started out, was through the YouTube, trying to grow your channel and meet and greet other YouTubers in the crafting community. So anyways, put your channel link down below, and when I get there, like I forgot today, I will get you shouted out, and hopefully you can get a few subscribers. And a lot of people keep an eye on it as well, and they'll put in there, okay, I've already subscribed, so that's great. You guys are helping out one another, and you're helping out these brand new channels. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. All right, let me get all my little guys put back in their positions. I'm in my craft room today, because I'm going to start demoing my kitchen floor downstairs. And then I go to school tonight. I'm going to a college class. Well, it's at Faith Bible Institute. It's a 3-credit course, and I need my cup filled. So that is what I'm going to be doing tonight. It's a 3-hour every Monday from 6 to 9. And so, yeah. Okay, now this is I have 2 landscapes, and this was the one that fit on my crafting table. The other one, it's huge. It's a 90, did I say it was 95 by 65 that I'm working on? It's a Thomas Kincaid. Now this one was with Let's Go to the Beach, when Lois was hosting Diamond Paint with Friends, Let's Go to the Beach. So I worked on this part here. I finished this part last month, and guess what? I have the 3rd panel, and it's part of landscapes. So I thought I would make it a lot easier, and I would just work on this so we can talk about Bob Ross. Let's meet Bob Ross. But let me get myself situated here. I am going to use some putty. This is by Art Dot. I do need my scissors because I have not opened this panel up yet. Yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? It was International Cat Day. Vivian from Diamonds Around You made this cover minder for me. So let's celebrate those kitty cats. And then this is my favorite tray that I use. And my friend Donna from Diamond Art Joy, she gave this to me. And I use it all the time. And the pin that I'm going to use today, this was made from True Vampire Crafts. She has changed her name to the Crazy Cat Lady because she is crazy and has a whole bunch of kitty cats at home that she is raising. All right. So let me get this situated here, and we'll get it started. Get this party started. I can't believe it. 4 years on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they sent me a little bit of balloons and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm happy about that. So I don't have my magnifying glasses on. Oh, you see my ring light. That's not good. That's got to go. There we go. Well, I don't know, guys, but I need some light. Okay. Well, okay. I'm going to work on this part here. You got a little bit of ring light right there. Sorry. Okay. Let me peel the plastic back. I'm going to work on this upside down. Put my kitty cat here with her fancy glasses on. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. I was just tired. I'm tired. It's like my walking caught up on me, and after Wednesday, I tell you, whoo, guys, it really caught up on me. I gotta find some colors here. So let's, oh, and this is how I'm using one of these round ones, and I use painter's tape. And what I did is I put Diamond Paint with Friends 2.0. This was a trip to the beach, 3 panels. I started this on June 1st, and now I'm working on the last panel. What do I need here? We are going to work on this symbol here. It's a little person. I call it a little person with a crown. Oh, no, there is a little man. It's a little man. But if it's upside down, it looks like a crown. And then I'm going to be working on the Q's. I don't know how far we're going to get. I have this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. And there's Q. We're going to work on these two today. I don't know if is it beneficial if I put on my light pad? Well, a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. So let me put down a couple of, okay. Bob Ross, where'd you go? Okay. Just so you guys know who the gentleman that I'm talking about. All right. This is Bob Ross. He is amazing. And I have it up. It's just a few facts about him. This is from Garden and Gun off of a Facebook group. And it says Ross died in 1995, but in honor of what would have been his 75th birthday. Ooh, I'm hold on a second, y'all. I'm jumping the gun. Okay, Bob Ross and his Southern Story. I will try to put his voice on here. I'm not monetized, so I think I'll be okay. I don't think I'll get a strike. But let me put some diamonds down, because that's what we're supposed to be doing, right? This is called a WIP and a chat, and I'm always the chatty person and always forget to do the work in progress. All right, let me shake these down a little bit. Okay, you can see what I'm... All right. Like I said, I'm very new at all of this whip and chat. I've tried it a few times before. I'm just not good at it. I think maybe I want to put my diamonds up here so I can see it better. But I used to watch Bob Ross. We used to go to school and then come home and watch after school special. And then sometimes Bob Ross would be on during the weekdays, or he would only be on Saturdays. I know my mother would watch him on Saturdays after we watched our cartoons. Where's my dump tray? So yeah. I was sad when he passed away. He does have a son. I think he was divorced. I don't know that much. I just know that he had a very calming voice, and he would be on the PBS public service channel, and within 30 minutes he had this beautiful masterpiece artwork. Okay, so it says here, Bob Ross Southern Story. 5 things you might not know about the quick-fire painter and PBS star. And this article was written in 2017 by Amanda Heckeberg. For bubble bath lovers, there's Calgon. Take me away. For art lovers, watching Bob Ross paint had the same mental Zen garden effect. The puffy-haired PBS star became famous for teaching the masses how to create a happy little tree. Masterpieces in less than 30 minutes on his instructional series, The Joy of Painting, which ran from 1983 to 1994. Now, in 1983, I graduated high school in 1981, so I was a young adult. I married in 1981 as well. Maybe there was another artist that we used to watch. So he was very popular after I got married, because I got married in 81 as well. From 1983 to 1994. Traditionally, art has been for the select few, Ross told the Orlando Sentinel in 1990. We have been brainwashed to believe that Michelangelo had to pat you on the head at birth. Well, we show people that anybody can paint a picture that they're proud of. It may never hang in the Smithsonian, but it will certainly be something that they'll hang in their home and be proud of. And that's what it's all about. All right, let me put down a few more paintings. So I don't know, maybe there was somebody else that we used to watch that was an artist on a public service station when I was a child. If you guys know, leave it in the comments down below. They even have Halloween costumes out of Bob Ross, and I've seen quite a few running around. So he even in his death, he's still very popular. I think they still run his reruns of his shows on PBS. He has over, I think I did research, about 300 shows. Ross died in 1955, but in the honor of what would have been his 75th birthday on October 29th, here are 5 things about Ross that might make you smile. He was a Southerner. Ross was born in Daytona Beach, Florida, and raised in Orlando, but he moved away to Alaska in 1963 after he joined the Air Force. The landscape inspired him. Mountains and snowy evergreens were consistent themes in his paintings over the years, and it was there that he began using a wet-on-wet oil method employed by the German painter Bill Alexander. His PBS forebearer, the quick fire technique, brushing a layer of paint over wet paint instead of letting it dry first, allowed Ross to finish pieces while on his lunch break. Is it a perm? It's true. Those curls didn't come naturally. Ross' signature curls were instead, signature Kofi was instead born of necessity. When he started painting full-time, Ross couldn't afford regular haircuts. A perm let him set it and forget it. But the real surprise, Ross hated the style. To adapt to the Southern mantra, it seems Ross' situation became the higher of the hair, the closer to God, and now I can't get rid of this because the fans love it. PBS would not let him get rid of his afro because it was a trademark. And yeah, let's see how much more of this. I'm going to let you hear his voice.
Back into my phthalo blue. Reach right over here and grab a touch. Just a touch of the phthalo green. Don't need much of that. It's very strong. Just a touch. Phthalo blue and phthalo green. And just tap it into the bristles again. Okay. Now decide where you want the water to be. And pull from the outside in. Start on the outside. Pull in. Start on the bottom. Work up. So it gets lighter and lighter toward the horizon. Now see, if you start here and go over, it leaves a very distinct line, which is hard to blend out. There we go. But you can if you happen to forget. But blend from the outside in.
You hear that soothing voice? Isn't that amazing? All right. And the finishing touches of what he does, guys. Oh my gosh, it's just great. He got kicked out of country music. Ross even made it to the Grand Ole Opry stage. The legendary musician Hank Snow invited him during a 1987 Nashville performance. Ross received a standing ovation. His appreciation of nature extended beyond happy little trees. What was this, Sal? Ross even made it to the Grand Ole Opry stage. The legendary... Oh, I read it wrong. He got a kick out of country music. He didn't get kicked out of country music. He got a kick out of it. He liked it. I didn't read that right. My apologies. Okay, so even Ross made it to the Grand Ole Opry stage. He was invited during 1987 Nashville performance. Ross received a standing ovation. His appreciation of nature extended beyond happy little trees. Ross rarely painted animals, according to historians at 538, a breakdown of the Joy of Painting episodes. He revealed he most often depicted trees, clouds, and mountains, but when Ross returned to live in Orlando area in his late 40s, he created an animal sanctuary in his backyard. There he nursed injured squirrels, birds back to health. But he has one painting with one animal in it. You can still bliss out to Bob today. Neither Ross's episodes nor 30,000 or so paintings he whipped up over the years, funded by the multi-million-dollar enterprise, he worked for free. And he donated most of his artwork to PBS station. Instead, his income came from likes of selling art supplies and instructional goods and certifying instructors to teach his methods, each of which is still sold or offered today. But you can also watch the man in action. Ross, lesser known as The Beauty is Everywhere, is available to stream on Netflix. So cue up an episode and relax. Bob, take us away. Yeah. And then there was one more article about Bob Ross, but I want to show you some of his artwork. This is Bob's Southern Story. No, that's the wrong one. Just give me a minute here, guys. I do everything by my cell phone. Oh, maybe not. There was one that had other different things on it. Okay, so let me get over here to his artwork. So he's just famous for his tutorials. He's really famous for the hair and his voice. They said that he was a TI in the Air Force. And there's his trees. He just loves his trees. Sorry for the glare. You can find him on Instagram. Isn't that great? And you know, and a lot of other artists learn off of his technique too. So that is my Bob Ross whip and chat for you guys. There was another one. Let me hold on a second. 11 weird but true facts about the famed artist Bob Ross. Let's see if there was a little bit more about it. It says Bob Ross, just his name brings a calm, soft-spoken painter who didn't make mistakes, only happy accidents. Painted on PBS station from 1980 and the 1990s. His untimely death in 1995 at the age of 52 occurred just when he was exploding on the top culture scene. He appeared in a hip MTV spot back when MTV was hip, and then his sudden death seemingly extinguished all he built. But Bob Ross lives on. There's a Bob Ross bar crawl. There's someone creating all 403 of his televised paintings. Bar crawl aside, there's so much that people don't know about the famed painter. So much will surprise you about the man with the sweet pipes and the sweeter fro. Enjoy the 11 most definitely weird but total true facts about the legend Bob Ross. Let's see. Let me get all the way down here. To the viewer, Bob Ross is the happy guy who paints happy trees and clouds and rivers. To the artist, Bob Ross is a guy who paints in a very specific and unique way, wet on wet, where the paint is applied on a still wet coat to create the finished piece. Wet on wet dates back to the 1300s, and French I can't say that word, impressionists used the method up to the early 20th century. The word wet on wet is that no serious artist uses it. And then Bob Ross came along, and well, critics don't really like him either, but that's not the point. Ross himself began painting in Alaska and learned his technique from a famed sort of wet-on-wet painter, Bill Alexander. The German-born Alexander appeared on public television before Ross ever did in the 1970s. Maybe that was the person I was watching. Ross dedicated an episode of his Joy of Painting program in season 2 to his teacher and mentor, but things soured from there. By 1991, Ross wouldn't even mention Alexander by name, telling the New York Times that he is our major competitor. They have Bob Ross in a video game as a character, too. He was a mean Air Force guy. So this is Bob Ross back in the day, before the fro, and him painting. Bob Ross is the last guy you'd expect to be angry with anyone, but he wasn't always a soft-spoken painter. Ross was born in Daytona Beach, Florida, and made his home in Orlando. If you're wondering how a Florida man made it up to the freezing Alaska, he did it in the honest way, by joining the military. Bob Ross enlisted in the Air Force at the age of 18 and was stationed at Ellison Air Force Base in Alaska, a little south of Fairbanks. Ross served 20 years, achieving the rank of Master Sergeant before retiring. Let me put some diamonds down. I don't know if I can diamond paint and talk at the same time. Ross wasn't the softy we know and love during his time in the military. He recalled that. I was the guy who makes you scrub the latrine, the guy who makes you make your bed, the guy who screams at you for being late to work. After Ross left the Air Force, he vowed never to yell and scream again, which led to his calming TV demeanor. Wow. So the way that he's saying that he had to yell at everybody in the dorms, yell at you if you were late for work, tells me that Mr. Ross was a TI, and it was his job to be a babysitter when they came out of boot camp. So you go to boot camp, you go to tech school, and from tech school, then you go to your first duty station, but you still have to live in the barracks. And then you have somebody that's a TI that pretty much is like a babysitter, like a dorm. It's kind of like when you go to college and you're staying in a house on a frat house, and you have a dorm mother and you have a den guy. I guess that's how they call it. He's one of them. Making sure that everything's in order, you're making your bed to the regs, you're wearing your uniform the right way, and all that kind of stuff. And you're not late for work. Let's see. His fro isn't natural. As recognizable as his sweet voice, the afro Bob Ross sports is the stuff of legend. It's a meme in itself, and every knockoff Halloween afro seller can thank every single sale on people dressing up like Bob Ross for Halloween. But Bob's fro is as real as rivalry with Picasso. The trademark hair is just a perm. But wait, it gets better. He's got a perm to save money. No need to waste precious cash on a haircut when it will all just grow out into a big ball of awesomeness. All right. And he hated it. He hated every stinking curl on his skull, but he couldn't undo the money-saving strategy. The afro became the logo for his company, his business, his partner, Kowalski said he could never, ever, ever change his hair. And he was so mad about that. He got tired of that curly hair. He was just done with it. He didn't make any money from the PBS show. And this is his intro to the PBS show. Whoops. Let's put some diamonds down here. All right. Bob Ross achieved fame for his PBS show, but it didn't pay the bills. In case you forgot, PBS stands for Public Broadcasting Service, as a non-profit station that gets 15% of its funding for the government. So obviously, Ross wasn't swimming in it as a PBS star, but he had to make something right, huh? Not really. Ross said that he never got paid for his Joy of Painting program, as in nothing. People see you on television and they think you make the same amount of money that Clint Eastwood does. He says, but this is PBS. All these shows are done for free. No wonder Clint Eastwood never permed his hair. Ross made his money teaching and selling books, and of course, selling some of his paintings. Ross also sold videos. Remember those? Of his painting system, which were really 3-hour workshops that went into more details on his style. So that was it, guys. That was it about Bob Ross. I think he's a sweet guy. And I thank his son for keeping up with his legacy. I think his son paints as well. I didn't do a lot of research on his son. So yeah, I think now we talked a little bit about, well, I shared a little bit about Chuck Pinson in the Facebook group, but we have quite a few other artists like Abraham Hunter, Dominic Davison. There's a few women that specialize in diamond art, as well as their own in their landscapings, and they do quite well as puzzle cells, postcards, all that good stuff. So yeah, well, I enjoyed learning about Bob Ross, and I hope you did. Who's going to dress up as Bob Ross for Halloween this year? I do see his little costumes hanging around, but he does have beautiful artwork. And at first I thought he was a watercolor artist, but no, he's an oil painter. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. That was my first WIP and chat. Thank you for being with me. This week I'm bringing my mileage down. Actually, I think I'm supposed to, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to do 7 miles. So yeah, I will do 3.5 miles down Route 1 and 3.5 miles down Route 2. I've been talking with my husband about the big run and getting the mileage right, but I'm going to do it backwards. I'm going to take the metro in, and maybe I'll film some of this. I'm going to take the metro in, and I'm going to start in DC. Well, actually start in Virginia, make my way through DC, and all the way home. But you'll see little snippets. And also, I was wondering, do you guys want to see what my regular walking trail is every day that I do? I go up 2 sets of stairs, and I kind of feel like Rocky sometimes when I get the energy. I'll put that little da 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 in my mind and run up the stairs, and then I'm dead. But I might share that with you guys. Have a wonderful day. Work on those landscapes. Get ready for next month with bookworms and garden critters. And once I get more information, I will share Inspiration Springs Meadow. I do have that kit. So yeah, and then I have more exciting news to share with you guys on my next one. All right, take care. Love you guys. Have a wonderful week. I don't know if I'm going to do a video in the middle of the week because I'm kind of busy. And I'll let you know how things go. And I'll see you guys later. Get all my little friends here. And I will start preparing on my next WIP and chat. Maybe the more I do, the comfortable I'll get at it. Okay, love you all. And Crafty Chef Diamond is out. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Take care.